Hi guys, Lisa is here with you for one more exciting information and working schemes to change your life. This topic is so fantastically intriguing that I'm really jealous that some of you will hear it at first time. My story will be about the lucid dreams, astral projections and out-of-body experiences. I have a right to talk about it because I was there and I felt with my body the other source of reality. Excited? I'm not surprised. You know, I even wrote a song, it's called Lucid Dreams. Yes, the same name of the song as of this guy, Juice WRLD. I'm sorry about him, it's awful to die so young.
I have these lucid dreams where I can't move a thing, thinking of you in my bed.
My song is also about love. The song describes mystical love story between people from different dimensions. She is living in the material world on Earth and he in some non-physical sector of space. So that she is suffering so much that even don't want to live on Earth, willing to stay in his world forever. I hope you will hear the song someday. I have only demo at this moment. How has my practicing begun? Well, I was living in Vietnam, in Nha Trang, for half of the year and I had a lot of time to dedicate myself to my own researching. And since childhood, I believe that this reality is not everything. I remember my last reincarnation, which I talked about in this video, and this scaring feeling while I was an infant laying in my baby's bed. I thought to myself without any language, God, where am I this time? This time means I remembered that I was somewhere else before my birth. And I noticed this change in my relocation, you know? By the way, what is the first memory in your life? How old were you and what feelings you had? Please share in the comments under this video. Lucid dreams. I found a lot of hit and miss information, not accurate, more blah blah blah. But finally I found concrete lessons and instructions how to begin practicing lucid dreams. And I will give it to you, of course, a little bit later. And now my understanding of what lucid dreams are. The best explanation for me gave one Russian metaphysician, Vadim Zeland. He wrote the incredible collection of books Reality Transurfing, and I shot 4 videos about it before. He supposed that during the night sleep, our soul travels to the other spaces of the universe. Sometimes it's not material worlds, but they are existing, like a plenty of parallel universes of our world and many other worlds. So all our dreams are like films laying on the surface of the other world. That means just one thing: we don't imagine our dreams. Our brain is not able to create so detailed and sometimes surreal worlds. We see them while dreaming. How many times have you seen something unbelievable like boogie woogie, cribbly crubbly shit with legs instead of arms, or purple spiders, wherever you got it? So the main difference between lucid and usual dreams is only one, that in lucid dream you are awakened. You understand that it's just a dream and you feel yourself absolutely like in material world with all your tastes and body senses. How does it happen? Usually you see some weird thing, like for example 3 moons on the sky, and suddenly realize, oh shit, it's not real, maybe I'm sleeping right now. Do you remember the film with Leonardo DiCaprio, Inception, where he was using a spinning top and if it was spinning for too long without falling, he began understanding that he was in a dream and his subconscious trip began. Usually I'm using my tattoo, I'm looking at my wrist while I'm awake for several times a day. So when I'm falling asleep, I automatically stare at my tattoo and notice something unusual. Sometimes image of the eye is blurred, or there is something another instead of eye. One time I saw my tattoo, not on my wrist, but on my palm, because the reality of the dream is not as stable as our material world. And at this moment of realizing that it's just a dream happens something crazy. I couldn't get used to this feeling by this day, and I'm still getting scared every time it begins, because it's like electric current penetrating the whole body. Heart is pounding at breakneck speed, and I'm feeling as if I'm stuck in some power outlet, simply plugged in somewhere. But it doesn't hurt, don't be afraid. And what is very interesting that in his interviews, Eckhart Tolle describes the same feeling during his enlightenment, the moment when he was awakened in our reality. So what does it mean? Are we all sleeping? Yes, you guessed it, my darlings. We are all sleeping and we should wake up right now. But how can we do it? I know, although I'm not yet fully awakened, but I'm on my way, and I can share some methods with you if you stay with me on this channel. The practice of lucid dreams helped me to perceive reality more consciously, because I have to watch at my tattoo and realize that I'm not sleeping, I'm alive. This is real world, you know? This is what lucid dreams about, in my opinion. They can show you fantastically beautiful worlds. You can meet whoever you want, even your dead relatives. The main thing that you can feel everything as clear as in material world. Many young guys confess to me that they are making sex in such trips.
Stop, Jessica, yeah. Oh no, oh. Jessica, where's Jessica?
And when I was a raw vegan, I ate ice cream, a lot of ice cream, without harming my body. And it's really cool. Astral projection has the same mechanism of work. And there are people, and it's not me, who can leave their bodies right during the meditation without night sleep and travel inside this reality or others. I heard some blowing mind stories about those who, during their astral trips, searched some exact information like telephone number, memorized it and brought with them to the material world, and it turned out that this information was correct. By the way, as far as I haven't such experience, I can't guarantee that it's possible. You have all chances to check it out. Okay, let's go straight to the techniques. In separate coming next video, I should describe my out-of-body journeys and some scaring experiences and give you some more metaphysical information. Well, I watched several long lessons, but here I'm going to squeeze everything and describe the easy way to leave your body. You are making it every night, but you're not realizing it. The first method I have already described. It's about awakening inside the dream. I repeat it again. When you awake, making your daily things, just look several times a day at some object or a detail of your clothing or specific body sign like birthmark, for example. Concentrate and consciously tell yourself, I'm not sleeping right now. And if you will be practicing this method constantly while sleeping, you will automatically check your sign and ask this question, but you will absolutely notice that you are in a dream, because you will see the image of your sign is not looking properly like in reality, and the magic will begin happening. And all you will have to do is to go deeper in this condition, not to lose your consciousness. I will tell you how you can prolong your lucid dreams a little bit later. Stay with me. You must know that nowadays there are identified some phases of consciousness. The following types of brainwaves differ according to their frequency. Each play a huge role in our brain working schedule and influence on all our being in general. It's very interesting stuff, but I won't stop here in this video. Just wanted to mention this information in connection with our night sleep phases. So that in the phase of falling asleep, fast beta waves of our daily wakefulness transfer to quieter alpha waves of the relaxation phase. And after that, even more tranquil theta waves come, which then replaced by delta waves, and a deep sleep occurs. This sequence of brain waves is then repeated in the reversed order, and after about 90 minutes, the REM, rapid eyes movements phase begins, which by its nature is very similar to the state of wakefulness. Exactly this phase, REM, we need because during this phase we see dreams, and all we have to do is to wake up inside the dream. And I will call this period a phase since now on. The phase makes us become open for ideas and visions from the world of our soul, and perhaps also for messages from the other worlds. This state can be compared with a deep trance or meditation. In the phase appears a door to our subconsciousness, and we should immediately come in. And how to leave your body not inside the dream but lying on your bed when you are waking up. Prepare to write down these methods, and to make your results come faster, you should follow one advice. Go to sleep better on weekends and set the alarm for 5 a.m. so that you will have about 6 hours for sleeping. At 5 a.m. you are waking up for 5 maximum 15 minutes, visit closet, drinking water, and go to bed again with a strong intention that you will leave your body next time when you awake. You may check your special sign and repeat that I'm not dreaming right now. Erase all external stimuli, not to prevent your next attempt. Use mask on eyes and earplugs. Next time you should wake up naturally without any alarm. The main secret of out-of-body experience is that it may happen mainly during this fraction of a second between your sleep and awake states. In the other words, it happens at the age of wakefulness. I explained it correctly. It's very hard to explain in English for me, but I hope you understood. The coach from the lessons I watched, you don't have to know his name because he is a Russian guy, always repeated, before you completely woke up, by all means, at all costs, whatever it takes, pull yourself out of your body. You simply may stand up, roll out, or take off. Try to do this with your own sensed body without straining your physical muscles. Remember that it feels like an ordinary physical movement. Don't hesitate how to do it at the right time. Persistently try to separate with the body at any cost. In the very first moments after awakening. Most likely you will intuitively understand how to do it. The main thing is not to think and not to lose the first seconds of awakening, and not to be afraid, which is sometimes a serious barrier on the way to separation. If everything goes great, you will have an illusion that you really got up from your bed. But in fact, your soul, or your subconsciousness, as you like it most, will be separated from body, and you can start your astral journey. Besides just simple direct techniques, like standing up, rolling out, there are several more good working indirect techniques to leave your body. If simple standing up doesn't work during 1 minute without opening your eyes, you should use these techniques, quickly changing one by one. In case the first one doesn't work, you take the second, and so on. Usually you need from 1 to 5 correct attempts to get a result. And I will describe each technique, and you can choose the most pleasant for you. The first technique is called swimming technique. At the very first movements while you are awakening without opening your eyes for 3 or 5 seconds, try as aggressively as possible to imagine that you are swimming or just making swimming movements with your hands. Try to feel it at any cost and as brightly as possible. If nothing happens, the technique changes to another. If the feeling of swimming begins to arise, then the technique doesn't need to be changed. Instead, you need to strengthen these senses, after which a real feeling of swimming in the water appears. This is the phase and you are already inside the lucid dream. Second technique is called rotation. Also at the very first moments while awakening, without opening your eyes for 3 or 5 seconds, try to imagine that you are rotating around your longitudinal axis. And if during this time no sensations arise, the technique changes to another. If there is a real or even slight sense of rotation, you need to focus on this technique and unwind even more. As soon as the feeling becomes stable and real, it's necessary to try to separate using direct techniques like stand up, take off, or roll out of body. The third technique is observation of images or listening to sounds. For 3-5 seconds, peer into the void before your eyes without opening them. If nothing happens, the technique changes to another. But if you see some kind of image, peer into it until it becomes realistic, after which you need to immediately separate with the body or drag yourself into the observed image. The same idea is about listening to sounds. You should drag yourself into the place from where this sound is going, so that it will become louder and louder, and then you will have to separate with your body using direct techniques. The fourth technique is my favorite. It's called hands visualization. And this technique was working for me several times. For 3-5 seconds, very actively and intensively imagine you are rubbing your hands together close before your eyes. Try to feel them by all means in front of you, to see and even hear the sound of friction. If nothing happens, the technique changes to another as usual. But if any of the senses begin to emerge, it's necessary to stop on this technique and maximize these sensations until they become completely real and you really see your phantom arms in front of your eyes without opening your eyes. And then you should separate with your body using direct techniques like taking off, rolling out, stand up. And the fifth technique, the last one which I'm going to talk about in this video, is called phantom swing. Also, for 3 or 5 seconds, try to shake your sensed arms or legs in any case without straining the physical muscles, but at the same time without imagining the movement itself. For example, try reinforcing them to push down, up, pull left, right, and so on. If nothing happens, the technique changes to another. But if suddenly there is a light or some viscous real sensations of movement, it's necessary to focus attention on this technique, trying by all means to make the amplitude of movement as wide as possible. When you reach around 10 centimeters and more, you must immediately try to separate with the body, starting the movement of separation from the sensations received from this technique. All you need to do during each attempt is to use 2 or 3 techniques for 5 seconds each. If it's not working, fall asleep again or leave it for the next try. Believe me, if your intention is really strong, you will make it within 1, maximum 5 attempts. How it happened with me, I will tell you next time. It was a very funny story. And as a bonus for your like to this video and subscribing to my channel, I will give you one more instruction, which is not less important. When you are already in lucid dream, what you should do next, how to prolong this condition. Before entering the phase, you must clearly state what you will be doing there. right after separation with the body. This will increase both the quality of experience and its probability. And I will give you some ideas for your first actions in lucid dreams. Choose 2 or 3 points maximum and remember them well. Look in the mirror. Always necessary to do it in the first experience, though it's really scaring. To eat or drink something tasty, visit your favorite sites, fly over the earth, fly into space, fly to neighbors, friends or relatives, meet your lover, meet your favorite celebrity, take medicine to cure yourself, get information from the astral objects, visit the past or future, walk through the wall, ride a sports car or motorcycle, breathe underwater, put your hands inside your body, be in the body of another person, move and set fire to objects, drink alcohol, have sex and reach orgasm. In the very first phase, set yourself a goal to definitely get to the mirror and look in its reflection. You must clearly program yourself for this action, which will greatly facilitate the first steps, and then you can implement the other points of the action plan and never return to the mirror again. If in the lucid dream feelings are vague, poor eyesight or fuzzy feeling of the body, try to touch everything around and very carefully examine the small details of objects at the very close range. This will allow you to achieve the more realistic experience, and the same actions should be done to keep the phase when the first signs of returning to the body appear, for example when everything becomes dim. Don't care about the returning to your body. The state in any case won't last more than a few minutes, especially for the beginners who have less experience. So that's all for today, and I'm going to prepare even a more exciting and interesting video with my own out-of-body experiences. Moving forward, I will tell you that I had a very terrifying lucid dream and I was afraid that I won't return into my body. Stay connected and you will hear it first. Stay true and kind, the rest things never mind. See you next time.